You're now listening to the Pitchside Peregrines Podcast, your home for all things Athletic Club Boise. Welcome in everyone to a Pitchside Peregrines post-game show with Elias and my wife, Kobe. This isn't Kyle. She got the pleasure of taking Kyle's seat at tonight's match, and just thought we'd start off this post-game episode with just a quick interview of her, as she is not an expert in soccer and just loves supporting her husband and being a great wife. And so, Kobe, what'd you think? I mean, it was your first time ever at a stadium, because Kyle is always with me and always at every event, so you've actually never even been to the stadium before. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think it was really cool to see the stadium and see all that they made of that space after seeing what it used to be and what they've turned it into, and excited to see what it continues to be. I feel like I spent a lot of time being like, what's that? What's this? Tell me what is that? But yeah, I was overall, I would say, pretty impressed. Yeah.
What'd you think of the atmosphere?
I thought the atmosphere was good. I think, I think we will probably always be ruined from being to an English soccer match.
Yep.
It's not the same, but that's okay, right? I still think that it's very clear that Boise wanted a professional sports team, and the community is really rallying around that. And it's fun to see how many families and just people of all different phases of life wanting to be there. So I love the atmosphere of people who are sitting around us.
Yeah, we had a great section over there in section 205, row A and B.
Yeah. So
you got to see how treacherous the step up from section 205 is.
Yeah. I might have to write a strongly worded letter that.
Well, you can just talk to them. I mean, some of the team listens to these, so the first steps up from section at least 205 is higher than the average step. And Kobe got to see firsthand how many people trip, and not just kids, or not just maybe the older community, but anyone is available to get got by this step.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the clumsiest people.
Yeah,
I
Kobe
know.
even got.
So I think that then every time that a kid or really anybody was here, then my blood pressure went up a little bit. We did have a wipeout too.
Yeah, someone did drop a burrito, and it thankfully did not go everywhere.
Yeah,
just a little bit of topping spilled, but that's definitely something to keep. The club did paint that step a different color from the rest of the steps.
Yes, you do have to be paying attention.
But
we are also serving alcohol at these events. Yeah. So, you can't
cater to both parties. Yes. You want to be selling the $15 beer and take whatever insurance you need on the trips and falls.
But hey, to each their own, I guess.
To each their own. Well, if we didn't mention already, AC Boise did win, so that was fun. That was an enjoyable time, and I'll dive in. She'll be leaving me to let me just nerd out and be the statistic freak that I am. So, Kobe, any other thoughts you want to share with the loyal audiences as now the solo pregnant podcast wife? Kyle and his wife did welcome in their new daughter to the world, and so he is going to be off for the next month or so. So we'll have guests here and there, but everything went smoothly, and just wishing them all the best in their weaning hours of being now a family of 4.
Yeah, so excited for them. No, I would just say thank you to everybody who supports Elias and Kyle on this and their fun adventure. I know that Sarah and I both love just them getting to have this time to nerd out with each other, and it means we get a lot less of the talk sometimes. But yeah, just thank you for supporting them. Please continue supporting them. They love doing this for y'all, and it was fun today to just get to be a small part of that.
Yeah. So. You got to see what it's like to get recognized and be a very, very small celebrity in the stands.
Very small.
Yeah.
We got to keep them humble too, though, y'all. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of both.
Can't be getting me too up in I guess pompous. In circumstance.
There you go.
So, well, Kobe, thanks for your time and giving your input on this game and accompanying me and Jonathan in section 205 for this game. We'll take a quick break and Kobe will vanish, and I'll be here with some statistics to go over this match.
Bye, y'all.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We are Kobe-less now, and it is just time to look at this game a little bit more. With Kyle being away, I can just kind of be in the driver's seat and give you maybe a peek behind the curtain as to what we look at when it comes to sofa score and kind of some of the things, and make my life a little easier on editing on the back end. So if you were at the game or watched the game, you had an idea of how maybe dominant Athletic Club Boise was to start this game. This chart explains it very well, that most of the game we kind of were in the driver's seat. A lot of possession, a lot of just constant beratement of the Chattanooga Red Wolves and taking advantage of anything we got. I do think at times they didn't take enough advantage with how Chattanooga lined up with maybe a higher line than normal. And I know we've gotten comments from, I think, one or two people on Instagram kind of saying the same things. So really, I mean, a point's a point, or 3 points or 3 points, no matter how you cut it. We'd be nitpicking at this point what maybe downsides there were to the game. Jonathan Klewer was tested from home at home for the first time in it feels like a while. Let's look at the stats here. Jonathan did make 3 good saves. I mean, more than normal. One here in the 16th minute, that was kind of a routine save. Here in the 26th, again by Mercer, again right at him. This one was the 70th minute. That was that low poke that tested him really well. And then the Chattanooga's goal by Hernandez was just, there's nothing you can do about that. That is just a goal of the week contender and potentially goal of the week winner. Thankfully, Boise had 2 goals at that point and could kind of take a step back and just enjoy closing this game out. Even though they did have plenty of chances in the second half, there was no goals scored by Athletic Club Boise then. Overall, I mean, since it was Kobe and I at the game, maybe it wasn't in full podcast mode, but Nate Miller did pick up another yellow, so he's getting definitely close to a, I guess, match ban with how many yellow cards he's connecting up. I do love the emotion and fieriness that comes with that. One thing I did notice in the formation that I think would be something I'd like to just either get your input on in the comment section or just overall chat about is the first game I noticed Dennis and Nick Moon here. At times it feels like when we're progressing the ball forward, Nick Moon is definitely playing that right wing back role. And Dennis is more central. But it feels like what I noticed today was once we get into that final third, it did feel like they flip. And Dennis, as you can see, is in his average position here, did play more outside and in the hot area on this map, while Nick Moon still had his moments, but did rotate in more. Something I just hadn't noticed in previous matches and just wanted to bring up. Maybe it's just due to Nick Moon's increased size to Dennis for whipping a cross in and getting a header, or it was maybe a tactical decision to make. I do think Tomas Among, Tomas Among. It was one of his better outings. I feel like he was getting absolutely clattered every time there was a player down. Kobe and I were like, "Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Thomas." Okay. He was down 2 or 3 times with some heavy collisions, but I think it was his best time with Athletic Club Boise and took some great shots and created chances a lot in this game. Excuse me. Toomey, again, was all over the place, and he did give me the extra point in this game by being the first goal scorer in that 3rd minute. Just a beautiful cross in from a corner from Charlie Adams, and Toomey tapped it home, no problem at all. At times, it felt as though Charlie Adams was not seen. He does a lot of work and is there, but I feel like Philip Mayaka is just so much more everywhere at times and so much more noticeable on the pitch. Charlie does create amazing corner kicks, as you can see by the heat map here in the corner. And I would be interested to see And this is something that Zazu on Instagram also mentioned. If Charlie and Philip could flip positions and have maybe Philip be more of the forward roaming midfielder and Charlie being that defensive midfield option. We'll just be curious to see how the team operates that way, and still allow Charlie to be the set piece taker that he is, and that asset to the team. Blake Bodley is back, and he was everywhere. It felt like all 90 minutes was just making the extra effort and was running up and down the right wing. As you can see in this heat map, it's pretty hot, and was just um, a great effort by him, and it was paid off by his player rating of a 6.6. Nothing amazing, maybe screened off the page statistically, but I thought it was a great performance by Blake. The back three again had an amazing game. Jake Krull with the assist to me. No, Jake Krull with the assist to the opponent's team. I think the way they call it is because Jake Krull crossed it to Nick Moon, who crossed it to an own goal. I guess that's how they're giving Jake Krull an assist in this situation. Nevertheless, we love that for him. And I think besides that, like we had, I guess, the normal subs come on, and everyone did their job amazingly. I mean, Musa slided into that right wing back, and Jonathan Ricketts slid over to that right wing back role that Nick Moon occupies. Johansson is going to want another goal in his score sheet. He should potentially have two so far this year. The first one coming from Union Omaha's late match where he skied over. In this match, he had a Superman, I guess, plank, whatever you want to call it, dolphin dive attempt at a header, and got it on target, but unfortunately hit it right to the goalkeeper for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. So I think coming on as the 86th minute gave that extra juice that Joe or that Dennis was maybe on empty legs. Omar Yaya also brought on a lot of energy when coming on in the 78th and had a bunch of chances and breakaways as Chattanooga was chasing a draw, so they weren't bringing as many people back, and no chances were put into the net, but a lot of chances were created in with Omar on the pitch. A lot of deep crosses from Blake to Omar, or I think there was some good link up play. I think, let me check my notes. Good link up play between Omar and Toomey that led to a chance. Yeah, Toomey to Yaya link up in the 79th minute, and unfortunately it was saved. But Toomey could have had a hat trick. He had the opportunities to put in 3 goals, but just couldn't get them past the goalkeeper. Overall, really happy with this performance. Again, 3 points is 3 points. That puts us at 11 points currently with 6 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss with a plus 5 point differential. Can't complain with that for a start to the season. Our next match at home is against FC Naples, so really interested to see how that goes. But we're not there yet. We do have more games to play. I think we have an away game against the Charlotte Independence on Wednesday. So the first short week for the team this season. Really interested to see if there's any team rotation, starters and the like, to kind of allow, with only 4 days of rest between game today and game on Wednesday, how Nate Miller handles it. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As Kyle is fully in dad mode, he wasn't able to send in his 3 stars, so I'm just going to assume that he's going to agree with me and be the podcast host that I am. For my 3 stars, I think star 1 needs to go to me. Again, just a great performance and a great start to the game. You can't draw up a better start of scoring 3 minutes into a match. Really excited for what he has, and just I think people around us in our section were just, can get low. The constant taking the ball out wide and then whipping it in, and when players have the opportunity outside the penalty box to take a shot, it doesn't seem like they're really wanting to at times. So I think Toomey and Thomas both showed that they are eager to shoot and eager to create chances and eager to put shots on net and just see what happens. I think my second star would go to Jake Kroll, just for the, again, convenient that he's the player of the match on SofaScore, but I think it was a great performance by him, both defensively and offensively. Again, looking at his heat map, all over that left side of the pitch, and was never a defensive liability, was great at passing, great at dribbling, and just carried the ball pretty well, and there's never any fear about the left side of the pitch, it feels like, for me. And I think third, despite what SofaScore says, I think Thomas Amang, however you pronounce it, we'll get that one ironed out. It was just it's so much fun watching him play and just being kind of the bowling ball that he is and the enforcer at times. I feel like Thomas Amang, he gets into these altercations and maybe these collisions with the goalkeeper or with a midfielder or whoever it is, and just roughs up the other team, and that's just something I love to see. He did have not a bunch, but had some opportunities and took shots and was active in the game, when in maybe other performances, our strikers in general maybe just don't get the service that they deserve to show up. Whatever. We roll with the updates, but yeah, overall, really impressed with how Athletic Club Boise did. Another amazing game, and attendance was a little low. Let me see if I can find it at all. Maybe not. They don't have it posted yet. But if I had to guess, attendance was slightly less than previous matches. But if for some reason it's different, we will take a look at that and get it edited. Looking at just overall stats here, Boise passed the ball so much more than Chattanooga, and it's very obvious that we had majority of the possession, 65-35. Yeah, I think it was a very business as usual performance by Athletic Club Boise. The one goal they let up, there's nothing Jonathan Cleaver could have done. Yes, he maybe wanted to get a body in front of it, but you've got to respect what an amazing goal Omar Hernandez had there, and move on with it and accept that a clean sheet didn't happen, but it was a great 90 minutes defensively by everyone involved. So with that, let me just check if there's any other last minute Instagram messages. We got one from BNJMNRTTR. Chattanooga played such a high line that should have been exploited more, plus 3 points still. Again, I think I mentioned that at the top of this episode. Totally agree that they're playing a high line and there could have been more, but when you're up 2-0 at half and kind of had the dominance in the first half that you did, you just kind of coast your way into the victory, and Athletic Club Boise did a very good job to get this game across the line and finish it with maybe one other heartache. I think near the end of the game, there was a lot of just chaos in front of the goal. I think it was the 77th minute. Cleaver made that save, pushed it out to the far end of the box, and then it was roped back in, and Moose had cleared it off the line. Don't know if that would have rolled in, but definitely good to see that the defense is helping out our goalie where he can't be at times. So with that, Elias did guess Tumi Moshaban correctly, so he did get the extra point today. And so currently with that, we are at, Elias has 4 points and Kyle has 5. So I'm clawing my way back, you know. The final score was between our two final scores of 2-0 for me and 3-1 for Kyle. We were at 2-1. So selfishly, I was hoping not to get the third goal in, just to keep my ability to win this competition in a quick reach. But for my blood pressure and my wife's blood pressure, an extra goal wouldn't have hurt. So all in all, lovely performance, a lovely home atmosphere, a lovely evening with the family. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will catch you all on the next one. Bye. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoy the show, make sure to like, comment, share with a friend, and make sure you're following the show wherever you listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all updates and future content to come. If you want to help support the pod and get access to exclusive content, early episodes, and bonus perks, head over and check out our Patreon. It truly helps us keep this thing growing. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for being part of the community, and we'll catch you in the next one.